Basketball fans watch with great interest the weekly ratings which identify the country's top college quintets. Over the past several years, they have become accustomed to finding North Carolina in the top handful year after year. Coached since 1962 with skill and imagination by colorful Dean Smith, the Tar Heels are a ranking national basketball power. They win at the conference level, in tournaments, and in national championship play. Dean Smith's long suit and the hallmark of his teams is alert, effective, pressure team defense. Here is Coach Dean Smith to show and tell you how it works and why.
In pressure team defense, each defensive player must be in position to see both his man and the basketball. In this 4-on-4 drill, our objective is to teach the defensive player to move when the ball moves. Please observe the defensive forwards, number 44 and number 43, as they adjust their defensive position on each movement of the ball. We are also teaching that the position of a defensive player 2 perimeter passes away from the ball is in the free throw lane. The position of a player 1 perimeter pass away from the ball is between the ball and his man. Adding the 5th man to this drill simulates a game situation and gives valuable work on pivot defense. The pivot man also moves on each movement of the ball. Pivot defense is gaining confidence playing in front of his man, knowing he has defensive help behind him. In this drill, the perimeter offensive players do not move since the defensive players are learning their respective positions relative to the ball. Another drill deals with offensive movement in which they are cutting and dribbling. The principles for guarding the man with the basketball are to have his tail low, one hand up over the ball, and be very close to his man, creating pressure. When your man passes the basketball, you should retreat quickly in the direction of the pass, regardless whether your man moves after passing. The objective behind pressure defense is to prevent the other team from doing what they like to do. In real game action, practice pays off as our pivot man moves with the movement of the ball. Hopefully all 5 do. When the defensive player uses his dribble, pressure defense may force a turnover. This drill is designed to teach each player how to stop dribble penetration to the basket while giving confidence to the player guarding the dribbler that he will have help. The man 1 perimeter pass away from the basketball must move his feet quickly to stop the dribbler and then moves back to his man. In moving to help on the penetrating dribble into the heart of the defense, the helper must keep his own man in his visual field. At the end of the drill, we have the forward driving baseline in order to teach this situation. The defensive player in the lane must cross the lane and stop the penetration. The weak side guard moves as the dribbler drives baseline so he can help his teammate who crossed the lane. It is not necessary to use the 5th man in this drill since our pivot defense does not come out from the middle to stop the baseline drive. We believe in helping and then returning to the original man. Here again we have added the 5th man to this drill, and we have this 5th man play the high post. Our defensive post man is continuing to play as he has, keeping his man from getting the basketball. If you are to be a great defensive player, you must learn to move when the ball moves, regardless of whether your man moves. We are trying to take away passing lanes and keep the other team from running the offense which they wish to run. It is easily seen now why we have our defensive forward crossing the lane to stop the baseline drive, in lieu of having our defensive center leave his man. Should the defensive center leave his man to help, the offensive center would be an easy target for a high pass and a score. Once again, it is very important for the person 1 pass away from the basketball to move his feet quickly and be in the path of the offensive penetration. Obviously, team defense is the sum total of good individual fundamentals. Let's follow number 20 through this sequence, where he is one time guarding the basketball, then ends up helping on the weak side. He returns to his man in aggressive position, knocking the ball away. The pivot man is on the low post. Therefore, our defensive pivot man is on the perimeter now, and not in the center of the perimeter. Now he helps on baseline drives. He is just as any other perimeter defensive man, and for all practical purposes is not guarding a center. Therefore, he is the one who crosses the lane. At all times, if possible, you must keep both your man and the ball in your visual field. Once again, when in doubt, choose the man. After stopping the baseline drive, you return to your original man. Sometimes you may draw a charge in this situation. The next step in building pressure team defense is to stop an offensive effort to clear a side and create a one-on-one situation for a dribbler. The defender does not follow the man clearing, but stops at the lane. In another sequence of game action, North Carolina is in white. Number 44 is the strong side forward, and our player guarding the man clearing out. Number 44 stops at the lane and stops the initial penetration. The weak side guard is on number 12. He goes back to the baseline to help, and then later builds back out to keep his man from receiving the basketball. The pivot man does not leave his man to go help out, as we have indicated earlier, but it is the man guarding the clear out who stops the penetration. Once a penetration is stopped and no scoring opportunity has developed, the defense may be able to recover to their original man and force a 5-second count for a turnover. The man guarding the basketball at the end of the sequence moves up on him with his hands up as a dribble is used. When the dribble is used by an offensive player, our weak side deep man plays anyone who reverses to the goal, in this case, stealing the pass. In a game situation, the passes are being played very tough. The man with the ball has no open receiver, and pressure defense forces a jump ball with a 5-second count. Another look at a practice drill. The weak side forward is the helper, since he is 2 passes away from the ball. A weak side guard comes back to help the helper. All 5 men are very active. The offensive player has trouble finding an open man when all 5 men are as active as they are here. Pressure team defense brings about a quick score as the dribble is used. A steal results in a fast break basket. In a scrimmage situation, number 44, the weak side forward, comes across and beats his man to the basketball. The important part is the pressure we have on the passer who has used up his dribble. We see this more clearly in slow motion. Again, the principle behind pressure defense is keeping the offense from doing what they would like to do. Here is another case where constant practice on defensive principles is almost exactly duplicated in a game. Playing this kind of pressure man-to-man defense, you must always be ready to help out, and you come to expect help from your teammates. We work on these principles until it's habit. Pressure team defense demands the most of each individual, making basketball a team game, not only offensively, but defensively. Players enjoy it, and it's a good way to win. Our players give pressure team defense as the primary reason for our 80% winning record over 6 years. It's not for anyone who wants to rest on defense. Each individual must work extremely hard at all times, but it does result in victory.